Good morning and happy Friday. My name is Russ Lagen, Vice President of Growth, and you are watching the Big Agent Meeting. Today we have the one and only Holly Mabry. She's going to be showing up today. We've got Brian Ellington. He's going to be interviewing Felipe Padilla. I think I got that right. Okay, he's going to be having an interview with him. You guys want to check that out and get the good information that he's got lined up for you. So to kick today off, what we're going to start off with is me talking about agent attraction advantage segment. So here's the thing, guys. Tomorrow, I'm flying out from Detroit, Michigan to Miami, Florida, because EXPcon is firing up. A lot of events starting, things going on Sunday, some pre-event stuff going on Sunday, and then, of course, EXPcon proper starting up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm going to be ending in the general session. I'm going to be on stage in the general session. I got a little segment that they're allowing me to do for you guys to talk to you guys about leadership and leading with meaning. So I'm super excited to be on the big stage and seeing all of you guys at EXPcon coming up. So with that said, attraction advantage. Like, what is an attraction advantage? Showing up for events is an attraction advantage. It's really great technique for you to start showing up at events. And here's the fun part. Start inviting other people to events, whether it's a small local event that you're going to go to that somebody else is hosting. Say, hey, I'm going to this event. Do you want to come with me? Hold out the olive branch, right? There's no commitment being made there. There's no intention being made there. It's just like, hey, I'm going to go to this event. Do you want to come with me? So inviting people to events that you're going to be attending and things you should be attending anyway and showing up and participating is super important. And by the way, if you want your people to show up, you got to show up too. So showing up for events, whether it's big stuff at EXPcon, showing up for EXP rallies, showing up for local AHA stuff like Elizabeth Riley does, or our new production summit events that we're going to be helping people do, talking about production, showing up at events is a big part of being part of the game. So the more involved you are, the more you're being seen, and the more you're participating, the more likely you are to get other people that want to participate and be seen and be around you too. So your attraction advantage is start showing up at events and start inviting people to events. All right, so there you go. That's for the attraction advantage segment of the show. KGCI Radio's Ian Wheatley is going to be live in EXPcon. I cannot wait to see him in the fishbowl. We call it the fishbowl, the booth that he's recording out of in the main affiliate center. It's a great place to see him. And Ian, take it away. What do you got?
Hey, good morning. I'm not sure you all know this, but right along with the eXp Realty YouTube channel, the Big Agent Meeting is streaming live on KGCI Real Estate On Air. And I got to be honest with you, I'm all packed up for Miami for EXPcon next week. Are you? Well, make sure that you download the KGCI Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android if you're not, because we are going to be live and sharing with you all those can't miss Miami moments. You're going to be hearing from leaders and presenters as they share real-time insights live from EXPcon. And don't forget, coming up right after the Big Agent Meeting on KGCI Real Estate On Air is another Friday Focus. We're going to be diving into social media marketing with content that converts, why lifestyle posts always outperform those just listed. So dive in today and all next week. Scan the QR code and listen your way to KGCI Real Estate On Air.
All right, there you go. Ian Wheatley, I'm going to be seeing you live and in person. Looking forward to seeing you and giving you a squeeze when I see you. I love the way you roll, brother. All right, so next up, we have Brokerage Brief with Holly Mabry. Someone else I'm going to be seeing in Miami. Holly, see you soon. What do you got?
My goodness, I know everybody is so excited. We've got EXPcon just moments away, and I cannot wait to see you all in Miami. But I wanted to bring you some different and updated numbers because I've been in a lot of meetings over the last few weeks, and some of these really caught my eye, and I thought you could use them as you're headed out to meet with clients this weekend and have conversations around what they should list for, maybe what they should make an offer for, and some things that could potentially help as you plan November and December. So first and foremost, this is not new news, right? Like 2023, 2024, 2025, the three most difficult years we've had in real estate, probably in the last decade or more when you combine them all together. And what's important here is we've been very flat. Now, looking ahead to 2026, there's some hope, right? We're seeing some rumblings. New home sales have picked up. We've also seen this, which I thought was really great. Mortgage applications have started to increase week over week since basically March. So that bodes really, really well. But are buyers ready to pull that trigger and jump onto the bandwagon of, hey, I'm ready to buy a home? Yes, potentially. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. We do see the Fed coming together at least one more time this year. They're indicating a potential rate reduction, but there's still that gap between the 10-year Treasury bond and the mortgage rates. And that's really, according to Dr. Lawrence Yun, he's saying, hey, it's probably because of some instability in the community banks. Okay, so what does this mean for us? Well, basically, a lot of people are coming to me right now saying, all right, Holly, we think we need to get back into the REO game. We think we need to be contacting REO asset managers and really tuning up that portion of our business. Okay, I want you to look at every potential part of your business. But check this out. Seriously, delinquent mortgages and foreclosures over the years, yeah, it's pretty darn low, less than 2%. So when you start to look at where you're spending your time, be thoughtful, be cautious, and be proactive. Especially when you look at 35 million homeowners don't have any chance of foreclosure because they own their home free and clear. So what does this mean for you and I? Well, you and I are going to go out. We're going to be actively working with sellers in this market. And some sellers are not quite accustomed to, hey, we're seeing more inventory come on the market. Buyers aren't as active as they've been for, they're thinking about 2020 or maybe 2021 at the height of COVID, where people were like, yeah, give it to me. I will pay over list. I'll go even higher than that, multiple offers, all of it. This was a stat that came from Dr. Lawrence Young in a meeting I was in this week, and it made me sit up in my chair. The reason being, when you look at your days on market, you and I've always known the longer you're on the market, the more you're likely to have to come down. Okay, that's not new news. But the third column absolutely caught me off guard, mainly because the difference in the price or the list price to the closing price increased on top of that price reduction. Yeah, check that out. If you start to look at that differential, once you're on the market more than 30 days, the stats are showing that when you go 30 to 60 days on the market, not only are you having to adjust your price maybe in upwards of 5 to 6%, but you may be looking at another 2+% that you're having to come down. And that's why you've got the difference between 5.7 to 7.1. So what does that mean? Well, it could mean, hey, the seller's offering concessions, they're paying for closing costs, all of those different types of things. But what's important is that you and I are sitting in front of a seller, this conversation just evolved. When you've got a seller who's like, well, let's try it a little bit higher. Okay, this is a real data that now you can break down. It may not just cost you in coming down in price. It may cost you in negotiating strategy, contract to close, because we may have more in repairs. We may have more that we need to account for. The buyer may ask for more concessions. So what does this look like? There's a whole strategy around this when you and I think about how we're going to work with our buyers and sellers. So going forward, it's all about them. It's about their goal. So I love looking at the time clock, right? What is their deadline? Do they have a fixed point in time where they have to move by? For sellers, it's like, hey, we've got to be to our new home because job, health, all of those different things. They could have a fixed point in time where they gotta go. If they don't, they may be more willing to test the market. If they're more willing to test the market, are they more willing to burn time on the market? Now it's important to talk about how time is money. And that's where these stats become so critical to know. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting too, right? So when you start to think about it also, I want you to focus on purchase power. So the purchase power, and forgive my misspelling, I was really excited in bringing you this content, but for buyers, it's really about, hey, I'm getting a loan. Could they, what is nice to have versus must have? Right? There's a lot of trade-offs in the market right now where buyers thought 2 years ago they had to have granite. They had to have all tile or all wood, hardwood. Today, they're softening up on that. It's more about location. It's more about the design of the house, the functionality of the property, knowing full well that over time, because the average time in a house that they're going to own it, about 13 years. So those improvements they can absolutely make over time. Their purchase power, their focus, absolutely shifting. So could they get a better house that's maybe older, maybe doesn't have the upgrades, but allows them to save a little money, yeah, that's out there. Now for sellers, what's so interesting is where are they going? What does it look like for them to buy? I actually went on a listing appointment and I was talking with the sellers and I was like, okay, I love this for you, but where are you going to go when you sell? They're like, oh, we're just going to rent. So we pulled numbers because of what their current house payment was versus renting, and they were not going to save any money. So we actually had the conversation of, you shouldn't list right now. Now, there are other times where it's like, yeah, let's look at all of your debt. See, your house payment may be very low, but you've got credit card debt, you've got car payments, you've got student loan debt. And if you sell, you could pay all of that off, wipe it out completely, and now your rent is your only overhead or your next property. So there's some opportunity there that you really need to drill down on with the seller when you go to take that listing. Don't take anything on face value. Really understand what their goal is, what's driving them to invite you into their home. And then finally, preparation. This becomes so important. And I'm going to go back to the seller here, because if the seller is not willing to make upgrades to the house or repairs to the house, they're not going to get top dollar. Buyers are not buying on emotion right now. They are buying on logic and bottom line. And when they walk into a house and it's going to need a lot of work and the seller is not willing to fix anything, but it's been on the market for 60 days. Yeah, let's go back to this slide. 60 days. We're starting to see those concessions creep up. It becomes really, really important that you and I are having the conversation with the seller. So preparation, what is it going to take to get you the maximum amount that you want for this property? If you want top dollar, are we in top condition? If you are willing to sell for a little under, the highest retail price, because, it's not as perfect as it could be, but it's clean, it's serviceable, it will qualify for an FHA loan. That's a big deal. For buyers, what are they willing to do to get the best property? Are they willing to negotiate a little bit? Do they have more money that they can put down? Are they willing to not ask for everything in their closing costs? Those are some strategies that you start to deploy right now. And this is what's so cool. Buyers who are active between now and the end of the year are usually the most serious. They are ready to go. They are very focused and they have a deadline that they need to be in by. But this is the other thing. Sellers who are on the market between now and the end of the year, even though it's the holidays, you may see more intense traffic of those people who are very focused and ready to buy, as opposed to folks who are, I just want to see the pretty houses. So this is a really great time of year for you and I to be educating buyers and sellers on what it means and what the numbers actually relate to their goals. So as you go forward, keep this in mind, and I'm going to bring this up one more time. This is a slide to really utilize as you look at having conversations. This data was just pulled by the National Association of Realtors, and it's as of October 1st. Now, I will be going to NAR, the NXT conference next month in Houston. I'll be in Dr. Yoon's session, and as he has updates, I'll be bringing those to you live. Thanks, guys. I cannot wait to see you at EXPcon.
All right, there you go. Holly Mabry, always making sure you know the latest and the greatest and the best of the best of what's going on in EXP and going on in the industry. Looking forward to seeing you this week. All right, next up, we have Brian Ellington, Chief Learning Officer of EXP, and Felipe Padilla, going to be talking about a bunch of things you guys want to see. Take it away, guys.
For folks not familiar, would you mind sharing like your unit count last year? That was 70%?
Last year I was about 43 units.
Okay. So icon status definitely and beyond. And
yeah, you see it is right here behind me.
Hey, I like it. That's awesome.
And yesterday I just got my icon for this year for 2025. So that's
amazing. Congratulations, man. Just yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday. And
right.
You know what? The most important thing, I'm Mexican. I wasn't born here. So from 2014 to 2021, I was an engineer. So it was like home, office. I knew everybody in the office. But other than that, I did not have a sphere of influence. So that to me was not an option, really, because I didn't know many people. And the way to go, I needed to leverage my presence. And I need other people to just look at me and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent and I can help you, right? So I start, the way to go is just obviously social media and different avenues for sure. I do Google as well. That's a huge avenue for me, especially this year.
Is
And
that SEO, pay per click, or Google My Business, or all three?
all three.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I do all three. And I love Google local services. Man, I
Mhm.
love it. Right.
All right.
And yeah, so I do all three. I do most heavily YouTube number one, Google, and Instagram. Those are my three go-tos.
So here's your YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Talk me through this.
So basically, this is the welcome video. Then obviously you have your videos here. So basically, I do a lot of property tours. All my listings have a video, all of them. And then people ask me questions. Like I have a lot of clients that ask me, "Hey, what about D.R. Horton? What about Lennar? What about I don't know, KB Homes or something like that?" And I got that question so much that I said, "Okay, let's make a video about all the biggest builders, Chesmar Homes, I don't know, all of them here." So I got, well, not the independent ones, but the big ones, all is here. So that's why I make my videos. I listen to my audience and I just put them whatever they want to hear. I also do market news. And this is big because these videos right here got me sellers, local sellers. Typically, what I'm attracting is out of state buyers, right? That's my bread and butter with YouTube. People see it, so they want to move to Texas, either in the US. Biggest migration comes from California, New York, Chicago, Miami, Arizona, uh, and they start like looking for options, right? So they start looking, okay, what is a good place to live? And they start drilling it down. Oh, maybe Texas is an option, and we're in Texas. And then all my videos are SEO optimized. So whenever they click specific words, I'm gonna be ranking there, right?
Okay.
So uh, and we have a list of the videos, like the must do. Like if you're starting a channel, you gotta go through them. Like it's a list, like a 10 videos. Like a cost of living in my town, right? Like best things to do, best neighborhoods in Houston, Texas, right? What to do in Houston, Texas. I don't know, many things. If there's like news, I'm about to do create a new video about property taxes, because Texas is the top. It's definitely the top 5 of more expensive property taxes in the U.S. But Governor Abbott is doing some stuff to relieve that, and there's some rumors there as well. So I'm gonna do that because I want to keep my audience informed, and just like we said in the beginning, I want to bring value. Right? I'm not selling anything. Right? I'm just saying, you want to keep informed of the Houston market. This is the channel.
You mentioned earlier about picking your topics, picking your keywords. And I want to ask you, first off, how do you pick your keywords? And then once you have, how are you using those for YouTube to then serve you up? Are you putting it all over the descriptions? Are you saying it multiple times in your script and the videos and in your titles and things like that? How do you do that?
Okay, what I'll say, and I recommend our fellow agents to use, is if you're gonna do YouTube seriously, you have to invest in a software, either vidIQ or TubeBuddy,
Okay.
because that is like looking through the behind the curtain. So I can see all my competition. I can see all their SEOs, their strategy, what are they ranking for, and I can very rapidly rank or outrank them depending on the strategy. And I do that. So you can see, I remember, well, if you can put the image
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, can you
So
show me?
can you see this, like more than 100x, more than 100x, more than 100x?
Yeah, the little bitty.
That is
Yeah.
vidIQ telling me, hey, this is over 100 times the average views of your channel. So those are great videos. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. I don't know. Let's go live here. Move to where to live in Houston. That's a good one. Where to live in Houston, Texas, or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna have, well, you have some sponsored, right? But then you're gonna have some real ones, and then okay, 100. Then you see the views, right? 31,000 views, 451,000 views, and you don't need 500,000 views, right, to get clients and to convert. But let's put it. Let's put this one. This is not a real estate channel. It's U.S. historians, but this guy ranks for Houston a lot, right?
Okay.
So best places to live in Houston, right? Maybe I'll do that video. That's a good video too. You see that? So how many?
Seem to do well for this person. Yeah.
How do I select my topics? It's like, hey, this is a keyword that a lot of people are gonna search, and then I see, okay, who has a lot of views in their videos? Okay, this guy, right? 65,000 views in 2 years. So this is important. 2 years. It's not overnight, and ranking is not overnight either, even with SEO.
All right, so there you go. Brian Ellington, thank you very much. Felipe, fantastic. Guys, a lot of people get really interested when we're talking about YouTube, getting your listings on there and doing the things that make you connect and building out a channel that people want to watch. It's one of those things that works while you're asleep too, which is pretty cool. So make sure you check out the full session of that on our YouTube channel, EXP. Just go into YouTube, type in EXP Live, and then type in Felipe or type in Felipe Padilla, and you'll find that the video is going to be there, and you can watch the full session live and in person. Pretty cool. All right, next up we have Agent Advantage Realty.com. Here's a summary of what's going on with Realty.com. Check this out.
Hey everyone, this is Donnie Crouch here, Vice President of Sales with Realty.com. First and foremost, I want to thank EXP for hosting today and for being a partner of Realty.com. We've had the pleasure of working with many agents over the last several years and helping them grow their businesses. Now, in working with as many agents as we have, there seems to be a common issue, which is filling your pipeline with consistent, high quality, high converting seller leads. Now, if you're anything like me, I am a realtor myself. I've worked with many different lead providers and generated my own leads in the past. One of the largest issues I ran into was, again, sifting through the junk to find exactly what my business needs, whether that's a particular price point, a specific property type, or anything in between. And so as a result, we've heard all of those, all of the feedback from our agents. We have built the Realty.com seller program. Now, what the seller program is, first and foremost, every single seller lead that we provide is going to be title verified. So we're utilizing our backend data to ensure that the consumer that fills out the information matches the title of the property. That's first and foremost. Now, from there, that consumer's journey to become captured as a lead is going through a long form questionnaire, meaning we're not just gathering name, phone number, and email. We're gathering key information such as their motivation for selling, their time frame for when they want to sell, how much they want for the property, among many, many other key pieces of info. Now, we give that control back to you, the agent. No longer do you have to take everything that comes through and sift through it. You tell us exactly what you want. So that could be, I only want sellers within these particular zip codes that are looking to sell within 6 months, have a certain price point or a certain motivation for selling, essentially allowing you to weed out a number of those looky-loos and getting right to the people that have motivation to sell their property. Now, in addition to this, guys, there is no contract to this whatsoever. It is all month to month, no referral fees, no setup fees, includes an ISA support as well as dedicated coaching to help you maximize the seller leads that you generate for your business. So right now, guys, you can go to realty.com/EXP. fill out your information there, and our team will get you all the information on the seller lead program and how you can ultimately leverage that tool to feed more listings to you and your business. Thank you.
All right, so there you go, Realty.com, showing you what they're all about. If you didn't know what they were doing, now you know. They're taking it to the next level, and they want to make sure they take you guys along for the ride with them. All right, University Spotlight is being done by Alyssa Specht. Alyssa, I'm looking forward to seeing you this week also. Alyssa, take it away.
What's up, big agent meeting? Alyssa Specht here, and I am here once again to give you the rundown of what to expect with EXP University next week. Let's dive into it. Guys, starting with Monday, we have got Level Up with Monica Weakley. Now, Monica Weakley, she wears a lot of hats. She is a top producing agent. She is an EXP World Holdings board member and the founder of My Coach Monica. And she brings over 20 years of experience in this game, and she's going to show you how to build a referral-based business that gives you freedom, flexibility, and some balance. So again, that's Monday on Level Up. Then let's jump over to Thursday. We've got another executive masterclass, this time with the firecracker himself, Mr. Russ Lagen. He's going to give you 3 simple strategies. That is what Russ Lagen does. He's going to deliver, and they're all designed to help you sell more homes, attract more clients, and strengthen your position as a market leader. So don't miss that in our executive masterclass on Thursday. Then back to Friday with another big agent meeting. We always bring the energy here, top producers, real conversations, and some momentum. So don't forget to join us for next Friday. Then we're going to take a look at Friday again. We're back with the Lab podcast with Zach Muir. Now, Zach Muir, he's the VP of Revenue at CSU and a major force behind EXP's data-driven growth initiative. So he's going to break down how to use data to drive agent accountability and what real performance tracking looks like. So again, that's on Friday on the Lab podcast. So guys, tag your team, set that calendar, and I'll see you there.
All right, so there you go. University always bringing you the best of the best. They've always got such amazing stuff, and it's because you guys are all helping contribute to making sure we have the most amazing stuff and up-to-date information in this industry. It's not just me having to figure out how to teach everything. We've got specialists in every single genre of real estate across the country, and they're sharing their playbooks. I love that University is always making sure they got that stuff out there. All right, so there you go. That is the show for this week. Here's a QR code to let you guys give the ability to give us a score rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we did this week. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all next week after EXPcon with some recaps of things that happened and things that were done. We're going to have some really cool stuff talking to you guys about all the announcements that happened at EXPcon next week if you weren't able to make it. So for those of you not able to make it, we're going to have some recaps for you next week. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for iConversations coming up next. See you next week.